What's up, everybody? How are you doing? This is the Sports Box, and let's get it going.
Welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports, located on the White Horse Pike in Hamilton, New Jersey. Showcase Sports for the elite players. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Oh yeah, just what they need, but then they fed me lies. It comes as no surprise that we still holding on, and fear would take it over. They said we don't belong. We will not on the dough, we will not take a no. You will not gain control, cause maybe this is just the way that we roll. So just go, we will not anymore, cause maybe this is just the way that we roll.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Blitz. We are a fantasy football podcast. I am your boy, Drew, and this is my co-host for today, the Fog, Stephen Fog, man. How are you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Good to be back. Good to be back, even though I'm 0-3 in fantasy.
Man, it gets the best of us sometimes. Ladies and gentlemen, man, give us your guys' comments. Give us your guys' questions. Fantasy questions. We are here to help you out. Who to start, who to sit, what to trade. Why are you not doing good in the league? We're here to help you out the best as we can. We're going to do it through our start and sits. We're going to go through who's active, who's not, and this is going to be a fun show, man. I can't wait. I'm excited. We are presented by the Sports Box. The Sports Box is your number one place for sports entertainment through podcasts and shows. We're going to be giving us tons of comments, and me and Fog are going to give our best to give us your answers. Let's get it. So a lot's been going on. A lot of injuries have been going on. You know, we got to figure out and help these people out, man. Who's in and who's out? What's going on? We know who's in. Lamar Jackson is in against Denver, dealing with the back issue. George Kittle is good to go against the Seattle Seahawks. DeAndre Swift possibly was going to be out, but he is good to go today against Chicago with his groin. Richard Sherman is making a start. If you want to start Tampa Bay's defense, if you feel that lucky, go for it. Dalvin Cook, ankle issue, is good to go. He is playing today, but be worried just in case that ankle. That's a little troublesome. So but if you got him like I do, I'm plugging him in. Antonio Gibson with the shin, he is good. Tyler Lockett with the hip, he's good. Darrell Henderson with ribs, he was out last week. He's in this week. Jonathan Taylor is good to go. Melvin Gordon is active. Randy Gregory for the Cowboys is good. And Jameson Crowder with the hammy is good. Any trepidation on any of these guys that Fog for you that you might be double thinking about, should I play him or not?
The only guy I'd be nervous about would be Melvin Gordon. Outside of that, I think everybody else is fine. Look, DeAndre Swift has shown you that he can put up points. Two of the first three games he's gone over, I think, 20 plus fantasy points. So anyone who had questions on DeAndre Swift, look, he's going up against the Bears, and I don't think I think Matt Nagy's about to be finished. This could be his farewell party at this point if he doesn't show anything offensively for the Bears. I think the Lions can come in and put up some good points there. So, yeah, outside of Gordon, I don't see any other reason to be nervous about starting any of these guys.
I agree. I definitely agree with you. One of my co-hosts for Game Winning Drive, Ryan Veal, if Allen Robinson has a good day, is he a sell high candidate, Fogg?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, because we don't know what that Bears offense is going to be like the rest of the way going forward. This could actually be a complete wash. So if he happens to have a good day today, yes, try to sell him ASAP.
I agree with you. I definitely think he is a sell high, especially after today, because their schedule isn't promising and their quarterback situation is really murky right now with Matt Nagy calling the plays, and that offensive system just isn't building well at all since he can't adapt to his players. So, yeah, I'm definitely selling high on him. Another comment here. Brandon, thank you for joining the show. We appreciate it, man. Please give us a like and a share. Josh Jacobs, Kareem Hunt, or Devin Singletary at running back 2. Who are we going with and why?
I got to go Kareem Hunt.
Okay.
I got to go Kareem Hunt. I would have liked Devin Singletary when you look at Singletary's numbers, but last week, once again, the Bills tried to push Zach Moss and give him the boatload of the carries. Like 26 snaps he was out on the field for to Singletary's 11 or 12. So I'd say Kareem Hunt is your definite running back 2 out of these guys.
Oh, this is easy, man. It's Kareem Hunt. It's Kareem Hunt. I don't have any issue at all. Against Minnesota, Minnesota is missing 3 starters today. So, I mean, and they're all linebackers. So I think Kareem Hunt's going to have a field day running and passing. So I'm definitely going Kareem Hunt here, Fogg. I mean, we saw the production last week. We saw him what he was able to do against Chicago's defense. Minnesota's defense, and I think universally we all agree that they're way worse than Chicago. So, and with Anthony Barr out and those other 2 linebackers, I'm definitely thinking this is a Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt type of fantasy day today. And we're not going to see much production from Baker Mayfield to OBJ because they're going to stick with that run because that's the bread and butter. So yep. I'm definitely rolling with Kareem Hunt here. Brandon, another Brandon, thank you for tuning in, man. Give us a like and give us a share. We appreciate it so much. Currently, Tyson and Drake in 2 flex have PPR. Should I like to cut to add Westbrook and another receiver?
Oh,
you can take that one.
Wow. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, man, I would probably take Westbrook over Drake. Man, it's hard not to roll with Tyson just because they still have nobody else. I know Le'Veon Bell is slated to be active, but I doubt he's been upgraded from the practice squad to the team. Yep. But he's still not going to play. So Tyson is still something to have. Yeah, if you're going to cut, I'd probably cut Drake and add Westbrook.
Yeah, I would too. Actually, I'm right there with you. I would add Westbrook as well. Drake, I just feel like there's going to be. I can never trust a running back in Baltimore's offense. It's Lamar Jackson. I know he has a back issue, but it's still going to be him. More times than not. I mean, take 100%. He's taking 75 out of that 100% when it comes to offensive plays in the goal line in the red zone. So I'm definitely going with. I would cut to add Westbrook. Yes, I would do that to give another receiver. Brandon, appreciate you guys. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for giving us your question. To look at what we have here. The one that I have a little bit of trepidation with, like I said, is Dalvin Cook. But according to the interview this morning, he said expect the same old Dalvin Cook, and that brings me a lot of promise as a Dalvin Cook owner, knowing that he's good to go, he's ready to run, and I feel confident with him against the Cleveland defense, who's been very underwhelming. Besides last week, because Matt Nagy had a McDonald's menu of what he was ordering for plays. So I mean, it's just I feel like he is a little bit of trepidation, but he'll be all right. He'll be good. Maybe DeAndre Swift, Fogg, just because of that groin. It's been bothering him since training camp and preseason, but he's been balling out every week, right? So I mean, those are only 2 guys I probably look at as trepidation for wanting to start. Brandon also, thanks guys. Hey, I appreciate it, Brandon. Thank you, man. Thanks for liking, thanks for the share, brother. Here's who's out. Tua is definitely out, so expect another week per set as he has the revenge game against Indy. AJ Brown is out with an ankle. Julio Jones with multiple injuries. He is also out against the Jets. Expect a big day from Derrick Henry. You know they're going to stack the box. I still trust him. CMC is out. It looks like he traveled with the team today to Dallas. It looks like he's going to be back next week, possibly week 6. So look out for that. It's a Chuba Hubbard type of day today. Elijah Moore, Russell Gage, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Quentin Nelson, and Chase Claypool, MVS, and Deshaun Watson, Rashad Penny, Ronnie Stanley, Gio Bernard, James White. He's done for the season. And Gronk, who possibly could be out for multiple weeks with the ribs. Any here is very alarming to you, Fogg?
For me, I'm going to say your wide receivers in Tennessee is probably the most alarming one. When you've got Ryan Tannehill, who at this point is he going to throw to? You're getting your tight end back, who's missed
Charles
2
Rogers.
weeks, Friskers or something like that.
Yeah,
so they they're lucky they're playing the Jets. If they were playing anybody else outside of the Jets, I'd really be nervous that they might lose this game.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree with you that this is a trap game. I had them as my survivor pick this week. I made them move Thursday night to Cincinnati, and I'm so happy I did. And so, it's
you sweat that one out.
Oh yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, there's AJ Brown and Julio Jones are obviously the most concerning here for this week. But looking across the board, what could affect my lineups? My lineup is a good thing for me, and people are a little hesitant with him. I don't know why. Gronk being out makes my play to start Antonio Brown a lot more brighter, and I think he's going to take those targets away and have those targets with him tonight. It's also, in a sense, Fogg, it's a revenge game for him because the Patriots let him go.
Yeah.
They didn't let him write it out. I know he had that sexual, allegation against him with the trainer, but I mean, it's still a type of revenge game for him to go at Bill. And TB12 is his best friend, so I expect to see a lot of Antonio Brown tonight. And it's his first game back since being on COVID. So I feel a lot better with Gronk out with AB being inserted into my starting lineup. So just a little dab of there for you.
Listen, I could see him catching 2 touchdown passes today.
Oh, easily. Devonte Smith or Emmanuel Sanders at the flex?
I tell you what, there's going to be a lot of zone defense played by Kansas City. That defense right now is struggling. I mean, they are reeling. So I would say Devonte Smith would actually be the better start over Emmanuel Sanders just because Hurts is good. He's shown that he's still going to force him the ball. Quez Watkins has shown that he's the right at this point, the number 1 wide receiver. We know they're going to throw the ball because we saw what the hell they did last week with 3 rushes to running backs. So I'd say I'd probably go Devonta Smith. Philadelphia's going to be playing from behind this week.
This is easy to me. It's definitely Devonta Smith. I'm with you, Fogg. I mean, Kansas City's defense is atrocious. They're terrible. Absolutely terrible. And they might be in that situation, Fogg, where they're up by so much that Jalen Hurts is just gonna have to throw the ball all second half, possibly.
Yep.
And it's just gonna be that type of thing. Prevent defense, let them get their yards, and then let's play a tough goal line defense in the red zone, or a tough defense in the red zone, goal line defense at the goal line, obviously. So I'm definitely going Devontae Smith. A lot of targets. It's pretty much him, and it was him and Dallas Goedert. So Zach Ertz wanted to show up and just crap on my Dallas Goedert pick, which, by the way, I told you I wasn't comfortable with after week 1, and I'm still not. I wanted Ertz to be gone. He's just ruining everything for me right now. And with that being said, I'm definitely going Devontae Smith. I think Emmanuel Sanders it's just one of those things, Fog, where he was open. It was just a situation that worked out. I still think Cole Beasley gets all those targets there at the slot position over Emmanuel Sanders. So definitely going Devonte Smith. Brandon, thank you for your question again. I appreciate it, as he was leaning towards Smitty. All right. Nathan, thanks for joining the show, man. Give us a like and a share. We will love it. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the Blitz. I need help. Flex position. Fuller, AJ Green, Singletary, or Westbrook. Titans' number one receiver now. AJ and Julio are out. Fog.
God. You know what? Go Westbrook. Go Westbrook. He's going to have to throw to somebody. Go Westbrook. Like I said, the Singletary pick scares me just because of what they try to do again with Zach Moss. AJ Green, I don't know, has there been an AJ Green sighting in Arizona? It really doesn't matter to me if Ramsey is going up against D-Hop. It's Cardinals are notoriously horrible since Kyler Murray got there against the Rams. McVay owned Arizona, so I wouldn't touch any Arizona player at this point. So, yeah, Westbrook would be the guy that I'd throw in that flex position.
This is tough. Look, definitely not AJ Green, Nathan. Definitely not AJ Green. It's too many mouths to feed in Arizona, and they're going against the Rams. I feel like Arizona's going to get pummeled like no other. So I'm not looking at AJ Green. Will Fuller is pretty interesting. It's him, Devontae Parker, and the Rook, Jalen Waddle, who had 9 targets last week, and he had 6 targets the week before. So he is getting a lot of attention from Jacoby. And I think that Fuller is just not – I can't trust him, Fog. I just feel like he's always going to get hurt every play. I feel like he's going to get in the huddle, clap his hands, and he's going to break his wrist. So I just don't – I can't trust him. Singletary is sharing the load with Moss. The problem is that the Buffalo offense, that Sean McDermott doesn't trust him from the 20 to the end zone. So that takes away a lot of points away. So Westbrook by default is my pick, even though I'm still hesitant on him as well. I would go Westbrook if you have him. If you don't have him, if you have Fuller, I go Fuller. Singletary would be third. AJ Green would be dead last. That's just, that's my 2 cents on that. Chris, thank you for joining the show on the Blitz, man, and I hope you give us a like and a share. Thank you so much, and thank you for your question. Moss, Jay Williams, or I'm guessing that's Michael from the Jets as running back 2.
Moss.
Yeah, it's
got to go
Moss. Yeah. It's Moss me too, Chris. It's plain and simple to me. He's getting all the targets. He's getting the red zone carries and opportunities. It's definitely Moss for me. Williams is going to be a nice dynasty pick to hold on to until the Melvin Gordon era is done. Until that thing is done, Gordon's still getting a lot of looks. He's still getting a lot of carries. I got to stay away from him. And I can't trust Michael, dude. The Jets offense line is just god awful. So you're not going to get anything from them. It's just one of those things where it's not going to work. It's not working right now. Until that offense figures out, especially Zach Wilson's confidence going up, I can't feel comfortable with running the ball with Michael and starting him. So, yeah. Keep it us your questions, guys. We love it. That's what we're here for. We are going to go to our must-starts of the week. I'm going to start off my quarterback starts. I got Jalen Hurts is a must-start for Kansas City, especially your FanDuel and Dynasty players. His cap is low, so I'm definitely buying on him. And Ryan Tannehill against the New York Jets. Yes, I'm doing it. I know people want to sit him. I'm buying him just for the price. I know that the 2 receivers are out, but he's got to throw to somebody. And if they're going to stack 8 to 9 in the box, which would be something that Robert Saleh would do with the Jets, I'm definitely going to bet on the passing. And don't be surprised to see McNichols running 2 running back spots there where he catches the ball with Derrick Henry out there with him. So we could see a split running back, a lot of formations. That's what I've been reading with Mike Vrabel this week. Steven's got Jalen Hurts. Great minds think alike. and Jameis Winston against New Orleans. He's sitting Lamar Jackson. We got to go. So listen, I know people are going to yell at us because it's like it's Lamar Jackson, but listen, we have to go a little bit, the 1 through 10 favorable matchups. We got to be a little spicy. So you got to make that leap sometimes. So he went with Lamar Jackson and he went with Ryan Tannehill against the New York Jets. What is your reasoning for Winston?
My reasoning for Winston is when you look at the last 2 games he's played, they've basically been road games, and he's put up decent numbers, nothing spectacular. But when you look at that home game against the Packers and just how comfortable he felt, it's just home cooking when you're playing in that dome. Most quarterbacks that they get comfortable there and they're able to put up numbers. And when you look at the Giants' defense against passing teams, look, it isn't pretty. It's not pretty at all. So I look at Jameis Winston. This is going to be one of those games where he's going to have a game that he can put 22 plus points on the board for you. And look, 29 points against the Packers, and the Packers, even with their struggles, still have a better defense than the Giants do.
Right.
So I'm going to roll with Jameis Winston on this. The Giants are going to be struggling right from the gate on this one. This is Jameis's opportunity to get a couple of play action big plays in there, and I think it's reasonable to think he could put up 22 to 25 fantasy points for you.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I definitely agree with you too with that. Very interesting about Lamar Jackson in this situation today. Going against a 3-0 Denver team at Denver, mile high, tough wins. So the back issue is it's gonna persist with those high altitude and all the breathing and all that. So it's gonna be a very interesting case with him today. But I'm definitely with you on that board. I would be a little hesitant starting him today. Denver doesn't have that bad of a defense. I think they're middle of the pack in passing and in rushing. So I have to double check on that. But overall, I mean, their defense is playing good. So it's going to be a really interesting game between the two today. Really interesting game.
But our defense is not only playing good, but that Baltimore offense is struggling. That offensive line is struggling. When you look at Lamar Jackson, he's bearing the burden of everything. And let's think about this. Kansas City, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He carried 16 times for 107 yards and rushed for 2 touchdowns there. Then last week, he was struggling throughout the course of the entire game. 7 rushes, 58 yards. 287 passing, but again, against Detroit, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and now you're going against a team that hasn't had to play really anybody. We all said that this defense coming into this season was going to be a solid defense with the Broncos. As a matter of fact, we were, most of the sports world was so enamored with Denver as a possible landing spot for Aaron Rodgers because everyone is like, hey, they've got the weapons there offensively. They've got the defensive talent there. They're just a quarterback away. So if this team was just a quarterback away, I can't sell them short now going up against a Ravens team who is struggling. They don't have their running game the way it was. They're relying 90% of their offense on Lamar Jackson. At some point in time, he's going to feel it. And like you said, you're going into Denver, back-to-back road games, 2 tough games where in the fourth quarter you had to be the guy to bring the team back. And now you're going up against a team on the road in Denver, the high altitude. Look, I love Lamar, but at some point there's going to be a fall down here. And let's be honest. 2 of his first 3 games, he scored under 20 fantasy points. Would it be shocking to see him go under 20 fantasy points in this one?
No, it wouldn't be shocking at all. It wouldn't be shocking at all. But it's I 1,000% agree with you in the things that you're talking about, and it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to move forward today in the game. Hopefully, the game plan is up there and it's setting up right for them. Drew's running back started Dave Montgomery against Detroit and Kareem Hunt versus Minnesota. We already talked about Kareem Hunt already. We both have Barkley sitting against New Orleans. We just don't know what's going on with that offense. It's very inconsistent. He had a good game last week against Atlanta, but that's Atlanta. Can it continue for the second straight week? We will see. And I'm sitting Chuba Hubbard against the Dallas Cowboys. Probably the most surprising defense so far in the NFL is Dallas. And I don't feel good about it, Fogg. I don't feel good about Chuba today against Dallas. I think that they're going to really, really limit his ability in the running game. And let's just talk about it, dude. I just talked about it a little bit earlier. The man, Micah Parsons, is number one right now in PFF. He's playing lights out. He's playing great ball. So this defense for Dan Quinn is really scary. It's really scary. I think they're up and coming. I'm going with Montgomery because it's Detroit. It's easy as that. I love the matchup. It's a filet mignon type of matchup for Montgomery owners. And the problem is that do they continue this wretched game plan that they did last week where they averaged 1.1 yards of offense, the second lowest ever all time in the NFL. So there we are with that. Fogg is starting CEH, which I had him pegged third. So I love it against Philly. And Zach Moss against Houston. He's sitting Saquon Barkley, like I said. And then this one I like a lot too. Chase Edmonds against the Rams. What makes you feel like they're going to really – you feel like they're really going to limit his ability today?
Look, this Rams defense is just this game is tailor-made for this Rams defense. What do the Cardinals not do well? Run the ball. What do the Rams do really well? They stop the run. So, Chase Edmonds is good. This game is going to get out of hand, I think, like you and I both believe, pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a passing game at that point. And once you allow a defense like the Rams defense to just say, hey, they're dropping back, pin your ears back and go full in after Kyler Murray and pressure Murray, it's going to be a struggle. So I think benching Edmonds is probably the best bet there. And Saquon, we know why.
Yeah, we know why. We do. My wide receiver start of the week is Mike Williams. No, I'm not a homer. I just like him in this offense a lot. It's Mike Williams against the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to see Casey Hayward try his best to line up against Keenan Allen. It's not going to work the majority of the time, obviously, because it's Keenan Allen. But who's going to guard Mike Will? I don't know if there's one person that can guard Mike Will on that Raiders defense, who I like a lot, but secondary wise, I'm not a big fan of. Antonio Brown against New England. I already told you earlier why I'm so high on him. It's the fact that Gronk is gone, so he's going to take a load of those shares. You're going to see a lot of slot play from AB, and I'm guessing Bill is going to do his best defensively wise to put Gilmore on Evans or Godwin, and we're going to see an Evans or Godwin type of day with Antonio Brown. I mean, that's the way I see how this game plan is going to work tonight. We might get into tight a little bit later. My sits are Brandon Cooks against Buffalo, as we're going to see White on Cooks, and I have Kenny Galladay against New Orleans, where I think Marshall Lattimore is going to shut him down. It's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things, and I don't trust Daniel Jones. He's
the only option. He's the only option at this point. I think both Slayton and Shepard are out.
They're both out. And Evan Ingram is just inconsistent as they come. So it's just
he's a bum.
One of those things, man. Barkley better show up, or they're not going to have any chance of winning today. But yeah, those are my two sits of the week, dude. We got Deebo Samuel. Okay. John, thanks for joining, man. And Jones we trust. All right, John. Thanks for joining, man. We appreciate it. Give us a like and a share. We thank you for joining the Blitz. Fogg, you got Deebo Samuel, who I love a lot, against Seattle. I love that matchup. And Cortland Sutton against Baltimore, where Baltimore's defense has been one of the disappointments so far this season. And you have DeAndre D-Hop against the Los Angeles Rams that you are sitting, which I don't blame you because it's Jalen Ramsey, and Kenny Galladay as well against New Orleans. What makes you so comfortable with Deebo?
The fact that Seattle's defense has been absolutely atrocious this season. especially against the pass. They've given up 5 touchdowns. The one thing that Seattle hasn't done is so far in the first 3 games is gotten an interception. And in late games, they're getting decimated by the passing game. Look what Ryan Tannehill did when they went up there and came back and won against Seattle in Seattle. So I feel confident enough that Deebo Samuel is still getting the targets. He's taken the majority of the targets for this team still. So that's not going to change. I think he's been targeted 30 times. He's got 20 receptions already. So it's just a matter of him getting into the end zone this week. I could easily see him getting another 8 to 12 targets this week, and boom. Yeah, next thing you know, he's got 7 or 8 receptions, and he's in there for a touchdown because Seattle cannot stop anybody at this point.
I 1,000% agree with you, and I plugged Deebo Samuel in all my lineups this week for DraftKings and FanDuel. His price mark is like around $6,000. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Got some questions. My boy Willie here. I met him last year. Helped him out a lot in his league. He has some great questions always. First time on the show this year. Willie, thank you for joining the Blitz. I appreciate it, man. I missed the show and had a question. Would you start Darrell Henderson, who's going against the Pats, or Damian Harris? Henderson, Damian Harris, Emmons, Moss, AB. Need two running backs and 1 flex. Okay. So I would definitely start Henderson against Arizona. I'm not starting Damian Harris against Tampa Bay. It's just I don't see it happening. Emmons, I'm not starting, as Fogg mentioned. It's just going to be one of those things where they can't run. Moss and AB, that's interesting. That's tough. Because I like AB a lot, but just because Moss is going against the Texans, I gotta give that some leverage over AB. So I'm definitely gonna go Zach Moss against the Houston Texans just because their defense is putrid, and I know Buffalo's gonna be running amok all over that defense. So I'm definitely gonna go with Moss. I'm gonna go with Henderson, and I'm gonna go with. What was the other one? Oh, I can go with AB. And I'll go with AB.
Yeah.
So Henderson and Moss would be my 2 running backs, and AB would be my flex. Easy.
Yeah, I'd 100% agree with that. If that's what you got your choices on, yeah. That's what you got to go.
Yep. Thanks for joining the show, Willie. We appreciate your question. Give us a like and a share. We would love it, man. Denver will be without 7 starters for today's game against the Ravens. Whew. Who will step up for its top 5 defense and its offense? Matt, Henry, thanks for joining the show, man. We appreciate it. Give us a like and a share, and definitely great question. Step up, man. Why not Von Miller? How about Von Miller step up for the Denver's defense? Is he? I don't know if he's out or not. I got to check at the line, but I'm pretty sure he's playing. So why not have him or Patrick Surtain step up? I mean, Patrick, I think he's 5th in PFF defensive rankings for rookies. Why not have both of them step up? For its offense against Baltimore, listen, man, I'm going to live and die by this, but it's Teddy Bridgewater. I know he's been playing good, but he needs to step it up a little bit more if he wants to be an elite team like Baltimore Ravens, who many people do consider elite because they have them pegged to go to the playoffs. They have an above 500 record, so they can play regardless of back issues or not for Lamar. They still will put up numbers. So those are 2 guys I would pick to step up. Fogg?
Yeah, I'm with you on the Teddy Bridgewater side of it. I think he's a guy that's really got to step up. And again, if you're fantasy defense wise, it's got to be Von Miller or Surtain. I would like to see Bradley Chubb really get some pressures in there and really. He is out.
He's out till week 8. Oh
shit! Yeah, well, there's that. Yeah, yep. So then you got to go Surtain and Von Miller defensively.
Yep, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. Henry, thanks for joining the show, man. We appreciate it for your question, and a like and a share would be great, brother. We appreciate it. let's get back to our starts here. We're in our final position here. Tight ends. So this was a little tough for me this week, Fog. I didn't like many of the matchups because a lot of them were favorable for the big elite guys, the Kelseys and the Kittles. So I had to dive in a little bit. I went with Dallas Goedert against Dallas. That's not supposed to say Dallas. I got that from last week. That is supposed to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry about that, guys. And Logan Thomas against Atlanta. I like Logan Thomas a lot this week. I know he's getting lost with Heineke at the quarterback position. It's a lot of run. It's a lot of short dump and dives to Gibson and, the long bombs to Terry McLaurin. But right now I got to go with these two. And then for my sits, I said sit New England tight ends. Let's just sit them. I don't care who it is. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, absolute terrible performance last week from Jonnu Smith against New Orleans. And Robert Tonyan against San Francisco 49ers. I don't know what's going on with Tonyan and Rodgers. I feel like that matchup was so prime last year. And at the end of the year, he was one of the biggest pickups in fantasy. I remember I picked him up in my Dynasty League, and it was the greatest thing ever as I rode on him to a championship last year. He was just killing it. This year, not killing it. I think he has one touchdown in 4 weeks or 3 weeks. It's something like that. It's just the connection's not there. So I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what's going on, but I pegged him to be the number 3 option behind Aaron Jones and Devonte Adams, and it's not there. So
I don't think it's a matter of the connection not being there. If you look at his numbers last year, for the amount of targets that he had last year, he was one of the lowest targeted tight ends that you had finishing the top 10 fantasies last year. And he was just heavily touchdown reliant. I think he had like 9 touchdowns last year. He's not getting those touchdowns this year. And I think the targets are kind of mirroring the amount of targets that he had last year right from the get-go. So if he's without those touchdowns, you're not getting anywhere near the same amount of fantasy points that you did out of him last year. So that because he was so touchdown reliant, and the fact that the ball is still being spread around with the players that they've gotten, he's going to be the guy that's going to unfortunately get the least amount of looks. This is really hurting his value right now, fantasy wise. Oh yeah, especially his ADP. His ADP was prime. I think it was like 10 to 12. So I mean, it's really unfortunate. Fogg's start to the week is TJ Hawk against Chicago. Tyler Higbee, who made an appearance finally, like it was an eclipse. He showed up last week, and now Fogg's got him this week against Arizona, which I don't blame him. And then Robert Tonyan sitting against San Francisco, so we both agree on that. And Cole Kmet against Detroit. Another disappointing tight end this year has been Cole Kmet, but I think that has a lot to do with Matt Nagy. So why do you feel so good about Higbee for 2 weeks in a row? Oh, God. Listen, teams are going to be game planning now and getting prepared to go against the Cooper Kupp show, basically. Yep. So you still got Cooper Kupp is going to be the guy that they're going to heavily target. They keep moving him around, running him in the slot. But if you look in 2 to 3 games that Higbee has had, he has been targeted 11 times in 2 of those 3 games. He's given you more than 10 fantasy points in those games, 5 receptions in both of those games, and he found the end zone last week against Tampa Bay. He did. He's going to find the end zone again against Arizona. Like I said, okay. Arizona they have not had to deal with a team that couldn't match up worse offensively and defensively against them. And I feel like 5 catches, 70 yards maybe, or 55 yards and a touchdown is not far-fetched at all for Tyler Higbee. I wouldn't be shocked if Higbee scored within his first 3 or 4 receptions in the first half of this game. Okay. Well, guys, we are about 7 minutes away from from kickoff. From kickoff. We are, as you guys can tell, I'm really tired. I have the baby. So, but yeah, we are 7 minutes away. Fog, real quick before we go, I want to do something new here. Give me the sleeper of the week. I'm putting you on the spot just like I'm putting myself on the spot.
Give me your sleeper of the week. And if you don't have one, I'll do one for you right now.
Oh
my sleeper of the week for any position. We do quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, and tight ends. I'm still thinking. And with that being said, man, my sleeper of the week would have to be Anthony Miller. I think Anthony Miller might have a big game against Buffalo since I think Brandon Cooks is going to be pretty tied up with that matchup he's going to have with White. I think Anthony Miller is going to show up today finally for the Houston Texans.
I would probably say my sleeper. I don't know how much of a sleeper he would be, but I think I would go with Nyheim Hines against Miami. With Jonathan Taylor still
that's a good one
lingering there. With the fact that offense really hasn't found any rhythm, and Hines is just finding his way into that offense because of his receiving prowess. You know, he's got 12 receptions for 119 yards on the year, and the one touchdown that he got a rushing this past week. So Nyheim Hines is going to be a guy that is going to get the touches. He's going to get the look. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get 20 touches this week, both rushing and receiving, and be able to find the end zone again against Miami.
I agree. Definitely agree with you. That's a good one, Fogg. That's a good one, brother. Hey, guys, this is the Blitz. We appreciate you guys coming on. We tons of comments today. Love it, man. Love the questions. As always, we always try better. I'm gonna put up me and Fogg's records next week. That's gonna be pretty fun with all our starts and sits. Fogg, thank you so much. Any final words?
Hey, no, thank you, man, for having me. Fellas, keep watching. We'll be back next Sunday. And I hope you guys, this helps you guys win some games. I'm hoping it helps me win some games at this point because I'm struggling.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Give us a like and a share. Give us Sportsbox a follow. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good Sunday with your family. Be safe, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Thank you for watching this episode of Game Winning Drive on the Sportsbox. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at Sportsbox Show, Twitter at Sportsbox Show, Instagram at The Sportsbox Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thank you for joining us.